Persona 3 Reload is the fourth version of Persona 3. It's Persona 3 Portable, but with Baton Pass, more triangles, and without women. And it sucks. Listen, Persona 3 isn't a great game. I'd barely call it good. And Atlus feels the same way, seeing as how they keep revising it. So let's look at each version of Persona 3, starting with the original. Persona 3 is Persona 3, and the problems with Persona 3 are the bad social links, Tartarus, the villains, and the AI party members, which I'm not going to say is a problem since I didn't play the game with it, because I only played Portable and Reload. So I don't know if it's actually a problem, but according to some people it is, so we're going to include that. How does Persona 3 FES fix this? It doesn't. That's the joke. Now, Persona 3 Portable is most known for removing the AI party members first, having better music in the form of Kotone and, Time, Sun, Danger Zone, a bunch of bangers, and having slightly better social links because the writing just got better in between games. The problem so far is that none of these revisions actually fixed the game, actually made it amazing, as great as it could have been. They all just kind of did things. Portable kind of fixed social links, but you still have a bunch of stinkers like the fucking old people and Bebe and the tennis lady. What? I don't remember her name, but she was boring. FES streamlined the game and added a few new things, most notably the answer, but the answer isn't good, so we're not going to talk about that. It just made the general gameplay a little smoother, I guess. I don't know what FES changed exactly, and I don't care. But let's look at Reload. What does Reload fix? Nothing. Reload tries to add depth to Strega, but ends up making them more pathetic. The obvious route for them should be hating the Kiwi Joes for forcing personas onto them and trying to get revenge. Or you could have them learn to control their personas through accepting their shadows, similar to Futaba in 5. What if we could play as Jin and Takaya as they go inside Chidori's head to help her? Some sort of palace type thing. I think it'd be really cool to see their personas more than 3 times. What Reload actually does is just make them evil Junpei again. They don't want to lose their power because they are test lab orphans who can't do anything and don't know anything else. That's not true, I just lied. I made it all up because we learned nothing about how Strega lives daily. How do these psychotic fuckers even operate? Who cooks? Who cleans? Am I saying that Strega should have had their own story? Yes, obviously. I mean, the only members of Seeds that really left an impact on me were Junpei and Yukari. Back to Strega. Jin doesn't want to forget his friends, so he protects the Dark Hour, which is nice and all, but he still kills people. Takaya, he doesn't want to be some normie jerk-off. Chidori, doesn't care. Problem. Jin is so blindly, unrealistically loyal to Takaya, he is willing to die, but not maybe lose his memories. Takaya loves himself and how powerful he is. If you pay attention to the super dramatic way he talks, he kind of sees himself like a god or something. But that's just what I got from his character. But anyways, he's suddenly okay with dying and worshipping Nyx. That's not something I really understand. I'd be fine with Takaya wanting to die if we saw him learn to hate the world. All we know is his tragic backstory and that he's a hitman. Honestly, he seems like the type of guy to try and kill Nyx just so he can say that he killed Death. But he isn't. He dies as just another half-baked asshole. So Reload tried and failed to improve the villains, but it did succeed at being the first version of Persona 3 in native HD. And I said it like that because the game does not look good. It reuses a bunch of stuff from 5 and gives everyone baby faces. It has cutscenes so static you might as well be playing Portable. I really don't get why people even say, ooh, don't play Portable, it's a VN. Like the cutscenes are that well made and you're missing out on so much. Or, I give a shit about running around the one room of Polonia Mall. Reload's faithfulness is so bullshit, you can't even get the proper AI party experience, which is the thing that set Persona 3 apart from other games. All they had to do was add a classic mode, which would ideally copy everything from FES. But no, that didn't happen because God forbid a remake, which, is a love letter to the fans, feels like a love letter to the fans. There's no extra outfits, those are all DLC. Did you want to play as Kotone? Fuck you! Do you want the answer? It might be DLC. Do you want extra outfits? Well, it is DLC, but it's only of characters from Persona 4 and 5, which are the only other Persona games. In the end, Persona 3 Reload is a Persona 3 p-hole of greed and minimum effort. If you're a fan, go ahead and buy the game, because you're a Persona fan, which makes you a fucking idiot for playing this game, which, let's be honest, is just Pokemon for teens.
Now that the main video is over, I can finally complain about the thing that's been bothering me since the game was immediately announced, and that was how bright and saturated and shiny everything is. I don't like it. The original Persona 3 nowadays looks pretty washed out, and that's something I like. I like it. It gives it its own style, and I think that using a lot of washed out colors would look really cool if they tried that today. I think it just fits, the tone of the game, the time period of the game, uh, and it would help it stand out against all the modern anime and honestly just everything that comes out now, because not a lot of things now, are saturated. But if Persona 3 decided, hey, we're only going to use a lot of color in specific scenarios, that'd be cool. Yeah, but that's just not what happened. Persona 3 Reload is just a bright and colorful, fun experience to the detriment of the tone. You're trying to tell a story about characters who want to, overcome the desire to die and, fighting these horrific monsters at night. But it doesn't look horrific. It just looks like a weird bisexual party. There's a reason you can't use all out attacks on, big bosses, because, that look fucking silly, and that's not what the game is going for. At that point, when, you're just running around hell, they let you do that because they want the player to have some amount of fun, I guess. But Junpei using the same fucking special move over and over, tripping over again and again, it's just annoying. Character voices this time are uh, good for most of the main members of C's, except for Fuka, who's been completely ruined. Fuka is just awful. I really don't like Fuka now. Fuka's charm, for me, came from how useless and dumb every aspect of her was. She was the navigator, but like, did you ever really need a navigator? To be honest, like, you don't need a navigator in gameplay. It's such a weird thing that, like, it's a part of, like, all of the Persona games. Like, oh, you have to have a navigator, but you're not getting lost. Uh, okay. But ignoring the fact that navigators are useless, Fuka had like some really weird faces, and she was just like a fucking loser. She couldn't cook, but she was like good with technology, and she really only had like the one friend outside of C's, and she but like she also just did a lot of like cute stuff, like dressing in the in the blue, and her dumb hair that sometimes looked good and sometimes looked dumb. I don't know. I just really liked old Fuka, but now that she like doesn't look stupid sometimes, and you know has a just another anime girl voice, I hate it. Like Yuko, her social link I found to be pretty boring once she started training the kids, and I haven't progressed it since. Uh, but I really like her and her voice actor because she's just talking like a normal person, not doing the fucking anime girl voice. God, it's so like, can we break out of this shit? Do the actresses enjoy doing that?